Hi everyone. How are you? Hope you're having a good morning, day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Let's talk healing. One of my favorite topics. Oh, I've got a little visitor here. You can't see him. Just as I go live, he decides he needs some attention. And I've already lost my thread. One of my favorite topics, healing. Oh my goodness, there's so much out there about it. It's a word that gets bandied around a lot. I use it loads. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the whole process. It's what I work in. I see it in my own space all the time. I see it with my clients, and I was thinking about it in relation to the world we live in these days, which is this sort of fast-paced, moving, attaining, get everything quick and get everything perfect. And in my experience, healing has not been like that at all. And when I work with people, it's not like that. And what I have learned is that we have to be patient. As I was saying in a previous live, it can be quite straightforward, but the actual healing itself can take time. It's not usually a once and done. What I've discovered as I've gone through my life, particularly since cancer, is that I work elements. So I always think when I look back at my journey, when I got the cancer diagnosis, which was medical doctors giving me 6 months to live if I did nothing conventionally medical, and I chose not to follow that path. I chose not to work with doctors, and I holistically holistically healed by feeling. That was a part of it. I got to what I call a base level of healing in about 4 years, which was kind of foundational. And then from there, the rest of the journey started and continues. And that was 20 years ago. It's nearly 20 years ago since I got that diagnosis. And it continues to unfold. And it really helps if we don't come at this from a space of expecting perfection. And I bring this up because I've had a few people contact me recently who are going through very serious levels of health issue. They've been given terminal cancer diagnoses. Is that how you say it? And they've contacted me, and I'm going to have to do something here. Hold that thought. I'm back. Oh, well, I could stop the whole thing, or we could just continue. And it's been recommended because obviously because of my experience, and I work with people, and it's interesting. They've contacted with this. Obviously, there's a desperation that they're sitting in, and they are really looking for a magic bullet. And I hate to say this, but I would rather be transparent and honest. There is no magic bullet. There is no magic bullet to any of it. Every day our journey unfolds. Every day a little more of who we are is revealed. Every day another level of healing emerges. And I feel our job is to really find deep levels of gratitude for every moment we're here. And I don't mean paying lip service or necessarily writing the laundry list of things you're grateful for, unless that works for you. But I mean really feeling it. And I know that's hard on the days when we feel everything is going wrong, but it's particularly on those days that we need to dig deep and go, okay, I'm here. And for me, this is how I deal with it. I'm here. I'm alive. I have my health. I have my hair. I have food on the table. In fact, I have this little thing that I say when it all feels like it's going to, as I like to say, hell in a handbasket. Oh, I got a heart. Hello, thank you, person who gave me a heart. Drop me a comment. I don't know if I can read them, but it's going to take me years to learn this live video lark. I've got food on the table, clothes on my back, a roof over my head, and wheels in the drive. And that is my go-to phrase when I start to spiral and I, it all just, and I forget, or I panic, or I start kind of, it's not working, nothing's working. That's where I go. And it works. It reminds me, it brings it right back here to the present, right back to being alive right now. Because I think it's so easy for us to go out there with our brains mentally. We go forwards, we go back. We live anywhere but the present. Perhaps that's what this title should have been called. But I've noticed with these videos, I get online and I have no idea where they're going. So I thought just put something on there and get going. We go forwards. We try to live in the future. We are perpetually rooted in the past. We always forget to be present. We really do. We forget so much. And I don't say that from this kind of Zen, have it all sorted perfect. I'm like, actually, some days I'm like, I don't know what my own name is. And those are the days when we really need to dig in our toolbox and go, right, what's in here? What's going to help me navigate today? And it might be a piece of journaling. It might be a chat with a good friend. It might be watching a soap on TV. It might be watching something funny. It might be reading something funny. For me, today it was been catching up with Lucy Charles Barclay's journey, the Kona World Championships. I do know the result, but I wanted to see her race. I'm a big fan of hers. Started doing triathlons a few years ago. Oh, somebody's giving me a comment. Katrina, yay! You're online. So, yeah. So I was watching her. Well, I'm about halfway through her race because it's like about 9 hours long. It's an Ironman. And started doing a few years ago. Massive fan of them. First read about them in I'm going to digress here and I don't care. Pauline Newby Fraser's book, Peak Fitness for Women, 25 years ago. Was so inspired by this woman who became the Queen of Kona. I think she's 8-time world champion. I was like, I want to do that. That was 27 years ago now. And I have been very slowly, gently starting to do them in the last few years. Haven't done one for a couple of years. This is the year to get back to it. So I've completely digressed. But what I was saying was some days we have to dig really deep to find those tools to help us keep going. And it's not always easy. And that's why I wanted to call this Let's Talk About Healing, because it's not this straightforward. You don't go to the Reiki healer or the whoever you go to, the body worker, and get a little bit of this and then everything is better. That is usually the beginning. And in my experience, anything like that is going to bring shit to the surface. And that's when the real healing starts. And this is what I do with people. So how I work with people is I like to say I go for the jugular, which that's really good promotion, isn't it? But when I work with people in a spiritual, clairvoyant, coaching, healing space, and they sit down in front of me, whether it's online or in person, mostly online now, which is great because then you can get a video recording of your session now. I sit down in front of them. When I look at their energy field, I'm looking for their true soul, the brightest part of who they are as a spirit, themselves in their best light. And from there, I validate them with all of the traits I see them, the traits of them in their best self. And then we start looking at what's affecting them, living that in their life, in their body. If it's a health issue, it's showing up in the body. It could be in their life. They could be in a relationship that's not quite working. And so we look for that. We start to clear those blocks. That's where the healing comes in. Sometimes it's communication. Sometimes I'm actually just going into healing mode at that point. We clear the blocks and then we create a plan for sustainable change. And that's literally how it works. So when I work with, and it's all So I use my clairvoyance to look at that space around the body called the electromagnetic field of energy. Psychics call it the aura. And we set to work. So that's what happens in a clairvoyant coaching session. And there's usually discussion. Sometimes I ask questions. My job is to get people to that place where they start to be able to feel empowered in their own lives, take action, and walk forwards on their own, change things where they need to be changed, and live the life they've set out to live. So if that interests you, if you want to get some help on that level, DM me the word psychic. Clairvoyant coaching sessions are about 75 minutes. You get a recorded video recording of the session, and it's $199. So have a great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. I always want to say weekend at that point. Well, you may be watching this at the weekend because it will still be up there. All right. Bye.